Well, howdy guys, it's Rev out here, and we're going to finally get a review going. We've touched base a couple times about the SIG P320, but today we're going to get a review in the can for you guys. You're going to see some information over at thearmsguide.com as well, so check out that article that is forthcoming, but you'll see it here first. So without further ado guys, let's get into it, shall we? There's the first. All right guys, that's the first failure that I've had out of the P320, and I've shot it a lot. I've lost track of how many rounds now. That's the first failure though, and it was out of this Winchester white box. You see there's a, let's see if you can see that, a dimple. So it could just be a hard primer. Let's put it in the gun again and see if we can get it to fire. Here we go. All right. So we've hit it a number of times now, and at least twice, and it's not firing. So it could be a dead round. Let's set it over to the side and keep going. This is more Winchester white box. You notice I'm shooting at an angle. I'm really fortunate to have a range with a backstop around that I can get out to where I'm the only one out here. It's kind of different. A lot of times with a square range we end up just shooting one direction, and it's amazing. Like if you notice, I just missed a couple times there, and I can get into a rhythm just like anybody else, shooting one thing and not really kind of branching out. We tend to shoot what we're comfortable with, and I've been trying to do a lot more shooting where I'm moving more and kind of getting outside of that kind of just pull out the gun, draw, fire, pull out the gun, draw, fire. Pull out the gun and draw is the same thing. Anyway, so I've been trying to do a lot more of shooting that puts me in situations that are more practical. So IDPA does that. I haven't been competing recently. I haven't done it for years actually. IPSC does that to a degree. I'm really looking forward to getting back into the competition rhythm. But right now, life is quite full. So anyway, you notice the Winchester white box continues to run fine. It seems like it was just that one round. So let's now take that one round and put it in another gun. Let's put it in the Glock 19 and see what it does. All right, guys. So we're gonna take that same Winchester white box hard primer round that failed to fire with the SIG P320, and we're putting it in the magazine and into this old rusty Glock 19. Let's see what she does. All right. Can't catch it. So, third time's a charm, guys. Maybe the fourth time. The Glock 19 does not fire it either. So that's a mighty hard primer, and we're not gonna put any marks against the SIG P320 for that. If this gun that has run really reliable for years and years doesn't chew up and shoot out this piece of ammunition, it's likely the ammunition. Let's keep going. All right, guys, we're out here with the SIG P320. And again, we've got the subcompact grip on it. I'm vying for that as a great concealed carry option. Your mileage may vary. With the compact slide, we're going to be shooting at 50 yards. Hopefully you can see that over my shoulder. 50 yards on a steel silhouette. So let's do it. So I rushed a couple there, missed a couple, but shot 10 shots and the other 8 were on target. Again, real short little grip, no excuses. But listen, I'm not some kind of star shooter, guys. So like if you're a decent shooter, you're probably gonna get much better accuracy out of this than me. I'm just in development, you know? So, and that's not, yeah, whatever. Anyway, the SIG P320 has more than adequate accuracy is what I'm getting at. So 50 yards with a setup that is more geared toward the comfort of concealability rather than the capability of the handgun. And yet it still is retaining its characteristics as a very capable firearm. So I think that the SIG P320 is performing really, really well. And it's been incredibly reliable. So I'm very happy with the characteristics of this gun. Couple headshots. Ah, the two-headed beast. Transition over to 50 yards. All right. Good deal. I'm telling you what, guys, I know that I keep a straight face a lot, but this is a ton of fun. I hope that you enjoy shooting as much as I do. Man, this is a beautiful day. This is a sweet little handgun, and I'm having a blast. I hope you're having a great time too. Alright guys, today I want to talk with you about the SIG P320. You've just seen some shooting, and I've been reviewing this gun for a number of months now. As you've probably noticed, I'm going to advocate just right off the bat that this is one of the best double stack concealed carry options on the market to date. That is beginning of 2017, February 2017. And I'm going to advocate, as you've heard me say in the past, for this configuration. The compact is a little bit longer, and I think that that is a valid carry option, and I've certainly carried quite a bit in that configuration. But I'm going to advocate for the subcompact frame on the compact slide as just an all-star, an out of the park, a winning combination when it comes to concealed carry. In addition, I'm going to advocate for this really inexpensive $40 upgrade, the Apex trigger shoe for the SIG P320. Now, somebody recently asked why that Apex trigger. All right, so here's the original trigger that came in my SIG P320. This is the stock trigger, and if you'll notice, the first thing that I really like about the trigger that SIG uses is it is made out of metal. And in this polymer world where we're making all kinds of allowances. You know, because let's be honest, a ton of us as gun guys, we appreciate mechanical devices in general. A lot of you guys are probably guys that would like American muscle cars, and something about the Glocks and the M&Ps and the Polymer Wonders of the world, they make us feel like we're driving a Mazda, you know, instead of a classic Camaro. You know, it's just a little bit of a movement away from what probably really revs some of our engines. Yeah, ha ha ha, rev, get it? No, but the reality is that many of us, for a lot of reasons, have moved into the polymer pistols for a good reason. I mean, they wear well, they're light, they have great reliability and track record, and they're really functional. So here's what ends up happening. A lot of people carry their Glock, but love to talk about their 1911, right? And so when we start to get manufacturers getting it and giving us metal components, you know, that's something that really it speaks to us. But still, with that being said, this is a great trigger. What we've proven through the SIG P320 is it really doesn't matter how good you go, we're going to try to make it better. We're tinkerers by nature. We're mechanical people by nature, and so that's what's happened here. Now, the truth be told, if this trigger had come out like this, with this flat face, with this flat geometry, I wonder if somebody would have come and made an aftermarket. But we don't have that situation to be able to figure out what would have happened. My guess, my gut feeling is that we still would have had aftermarkets coming out. Perhaps they would have been aftermarkets with a curved trigger. Perhaps they would have been aftermarkets triggers with like the gray trigger that's out there. I don't know. Anyway, here's why I am going to advocate for you to give this a look. One, it's really an inexpensive upgrade. Two, it's from a reputable manufacturer that's just done a lot of things. Three, it doesn't change the weight or the internals of your gun at all. And four, that geometry, that flat geometry gives you lots of placement options for your finger. So when you're getting that rearward press, it is more difficult to mess it up. Whereas the more curved the trigger is, the fewer places that you have, depending upon your hand size and your capability, the fewer places that you have to be able to pull that back without pushing or pulling the trigger. And so this is just going to make it easier to get that proper trigger press without pulling or pushing the trigger. And I think that's worth 40 bucks. Your mileage may vary, but I'm going to advocate that you drop in that tried and true Apex trigger. You say tried and true, it's this gun's not even tried and true. I'm saying Apex as a manufacturer is a tried and true, proven, they stand behind their stuff company. As you've already seen, I really like this holster, pretty straightforward holster. It's called the Apollo, and it's from Alpha Concealment. Give them a look. Lots of other manufacturers out there making good quality products for the SIG P320. My version of the SIG P320 has night sights on it, and I haven't felt the need to change them. They are everything that I require. They've got a nice little lip for one-handed manipulations. They're night sights. They're good to go. I prefer smaller or non-existent rear dots, but hey, these are steel sights with Trigicon inserts. Not a whole lot to complain about. They work really well. The modularity of the gun is, as you've already seen hundreds of times from other folks, it's really simple. And contrary to what some of my friends, my counterparts over at the Arms Guide have been saying, you know, that modularity is a benefit. And I think the Army has made a good choice, but you know, whatever. So that this is, you already know this, but this is the gun. This is the gun, and popping that into the carry, the compact, you know, the full size, but I've got a compact slide, so it wouldn't make sense to pop it in the full size. Those are all options for someone with this little component. Now, of course, you could get a conversion kit and go through all that, but when you start to look at the cost of the conversion kits, for me and my money, I would just buy another gun. But that's me, and again, you may have a different perspective. So we'll go ahead and put that joker in. So we've talked about the reliability. It is top notch. We've talked about the concealability. I think with the subcompact frame, it is one of the best, if not the best, double stack option on the market to date. We've talked about durability a little bit, or let's talk about it a little bit more. The finish on this slide has held up really well. You've seen me with quite a bit of footage. It's been out in the sand, the dirt, the red clay, and it's worn really well. We've talked about the shooting characteristics, but let's talk about them a little bit more. I would say that the cool thing about the modularity is that more than just changing out the rear grip panels like a lot of guns, changing the whole frame of the gun is an advantage, because you can do the small grip frames, you can do the medium, you can do the large, and it's going to change the overall geometry of the grip, which is excellent. I have landed on the medium grips. My wife with small hands is able to use them, and I like them just a little bit more than the smalls, but the smalls and the mediums are the ones that I would, even with large size hands, are the ones that I would go back and forth between quite a bit. I just like the way they carry, the way they shoot. The texture on the grips, I think, can be greatly improved with these grip stickers from Talon Grips. But another thing to consider is, if you've wondered about stippling and you're just not sure if that's your thing, with being able to buy an entire frame on eBay from $35 to $40, or on straight from SIG, or a host of other suppliers. In fact, speaking of suppliers, let's talk about Midway for a second. Midway was kind enough to send out some ammunition, some Blazer brass, for our reviews, and so thank you very much for supporting the channel and for supporting the work over at the Arms Guide. We appreciate you guys helping us get content and information in the hands of your customers. So I've got no kickbacks, no relationship with Midway whatsoever, but they were good enough to see what we're doing and say, hey, you know, let us help you get ammo to be able to keep producing content and keep reviews coming out to our valued customers. So companies like that are awesome, and thank you so much, Midway. I'm encouraging you to go out and shop with Midway. Of course, I've been a customer of theirs for years, so it was really cool of them to reach out and help us out like that. So most of the ammunition that we've shot through this in this review has been that Blazer brass, but we've shot lots of other stuff. We've shot Remington 124 grain. We've shot Blazer 115 grain. We've shot a fair amount of the Winchester White Box 115 grain, which is the one malfunction that we've had to date. And that malfunction was with this hard primer from that Winchester White Box, and we haven't been able to get that to fire out of any gun. So, you know, we're not gonna lay that to the charge of the SIG P320. Maybe you've seen the video from a couple guys online arguing about whether this is a good. One of them is a fellow writer friend of mine, and they've been arguing. They argued in a fun way about whether this was a good option for the military. And one of the things they referenced was, the Graham referenced over there, was this kind of play up front. And another thing that he referenced was how much movement he got out of the magazine when gravity was against it. And mine's, maybe you can see here, mine's going up fine. Yeah, I mean, there are some that have more, some that have less, but mine's been fine. The ejection pattern's been good on this gun. It's been consistent across multiple manufacturers of ammunition. Oh, I started to talk about ammunition. Let me go ahead and tell you some more. We've done a lot of my typical carry ammo, which is Federal HST. Those have run really well. We've done a bunch of the Remington Golden Saber, a fair amount of the Spear Gold Dot, and I think Remington Talon, I think that's what they call it as well. But a fair amount of defensive ammunition has run through this gun, and it's eaten it all really well. Again, the reliability has been good. The accuracy has been above average. The durability has been quite good, and I think the shooting characteristics of the gun are above average. They're really good, especially with that flat face trigger, but overall it's just a good gun. I've had a number of different people shoot the gun, from seasoned veterans to newer shooters, and what I've come to find out is the newer shooters tend to favor this gun. There are some shooters that have different preferences. For example, a friend of mine was a fire chief in our area, and he's retired, and his preferences, I think, caused him to kind of lean away from, he's got really large hands, lean away from this and to favor some of my Glocks, some of the other guns that I had him shoot that I was kind of comparing them to. Whereas his son, who is a fireman right now, and was in the Air Force before that, a good guy, he has less trigger time on handguns, and he really preferred this over the other polymer guns like the M&P and the Glock and the other things that I gave him. He just shot this more naturally. So I think that's evidence, and again, it's a small sample size, but I've had a number of different shooters use it. My wife really likes the P320. I've been surprised that she kind of picked it up, and even as it's configured right here, was shooting at 40 and 50 yards without any problem. So I think that it's a pretty natural shooting gun. That's what I'm arriving at, the conclusion that I'm arriving at from the small sample size of friends and family that I've had shoot it so far. I think takedown is pretty easy, and I think that the magazine release is placed really nicely. It is just far enough out. It is a metal component, which I like, and it is. I also like that these kind of cuts are there. If you were to have a problem, that you could strip it more easily. You could get purchase on the magazine. So I'm a fan of that. The rail is pretty much standard fare these days. The slide stop is ambi. And the dimensions of the gun are really well suited for and competitive with, really well suited for carry, and very competitive with the options that are available in the market today. So that's my take on the SIG P320. Ultimately, I would say that in this configuration, it is one of the best double stack concealed carry options on the market today. Y'all have a good one. As always, this is Rev encouraging you, don't waste your life.